Hello and welcome. Now we are ready to test the solution before we deploy it, before we make it available for the end users to use it. As you remember, we have built this solution keeping some of the requirements in mind. We had three functional requirements, one performance specific requirement, and one audit specific requirement. So let's start testing first the functional specific requirements. For that, I would go to this particular task, create social media publishing schedule. Let me look at the output. As you can see, we had expected the output to be in markdown format, so it appears accordingly. Here it says you have to publish articles on, say, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. So it talks about all popular social media platforms. The timings and the dates, they are also mentioned over here. Looking at the traffic, looking at the trend of specific platform, it has suggested that either you publish at, say, 8 a.m. for Twitter, 10 a.m. for LinkedIn, 9 a.m. for Facebook, and 10 a.m. for TikTok. Our second requirement was to get a suggestion from the solution on the content. So here the solution has suggested specific content titles. If we don't like, we can customize them as per our need. So the content title here is GLP-1 drugs infographic, which is of infographic type post. The post on the LinkedIn has to be a report, an article link. The post on Facebook can be a video on compounding pharmacies. And the post on TikTok could be navigating digital pharmacies. It could be a short video. Then it has provided for the strategic notes around each of these postings. If we scroll down, we can see there are two suggestions. In fact, there are three suggestions for the date 30th December. There are two suggestions for 31st December and three for 2nd January and two for 3rd January. There is no suggestion for posting it, in any of the platforms on 1st January, considering perhaps it's the holiday and people will be busy celebrating. Then we have backup content suggestions. If infographics are delayed, replace with a detailed post explaining GLP-1 drugs benefits. If video content is not ready, share industry news articles related to the topic. And finally, engage with the audience comments daily to maintain active communication. So I hope you agree that we have functional requirements 1 and 2 are somewhat met here. Now the third requirement was around engagement monitoring checkpoints. So the solution has suggested that it has to be daily, weekly, and post-webinar checks. One must check the engagement metrics like likes, shares, comments for each of the platform. There should be a weekly review, overall content performance, and audience feedback to refine the strategies. And in case you are hosting a webinar, collect feedback and insights from webinar participants for future topics. So, what it says is that this comprehensive schedule ensures a balanced content distribution across platforms, and it is designed strategically and aligned to Lisa's objectives of engaging with the audience, engaging with her community. So these are about three of the functional requirements. Now let's go to understand the performance requirement. The requirement we have for performance was that none of the agents should take more than 30 seconds to execute. So we can see here in the execution tab, research industry trends agent takes 22 seconds. The social media analytics specialist takes 15 seconds. Social media content creator takes 18 seconds. So in a way, it says that these times are within expected limit. And with this expected time limit for the agent to perform, we can be confident to release it to the users to use it. If it would have taken more than 30 seconds for any of these agents, we could have checked what might be going wrong, or maybe we would have fine-tuned something. So this is about the performance specific requirement. Then we had one audit specific requirement. For auditability requirement, while this requires a custom logging setup, here I can use a combination of existing features to establish across the flow that auditability is being maintained. And it can be easily established that the audit trails are generated and the evidence which can be produced before, let's say, auditors and inspectors is going to be satisfactory. So, real time, when you are building a solution, it could be more complex. You may have more number of agents, more number of tasks. The branching could be different. So, in those scenarios, you may have more number of test cases. However, the foundational or the fundamental principles of testing, your user acceptance testing or functional testing, they remain the same. So, in a nutshell, this is little bit about how we can test an agentic AI solution before we deploy it and make it available for our end users to use it. Thank you.